telling you. All right. How's it going, everybody? I know it's been a while. Um, what's crazy is, you know, I've been sitting here thinking for weeks, honestly, months, on how I was going to come back on this channel. You know, still don't really have a certain way I want to do things, and I think it's best this way. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just start from the top. So first of all, if you're here tuning in, thank you for returning, or this is your first time watching this channel. Basically, I created this channel to document my own healing journey. I want to be like a Dr. Sebi / personal trainer, specifically working in a corrective exercise department, dealing with people that have muscle imbalances that can cause, spine imbalances, hip imbalances, just to help create custom exercises to get the body back in alignment, while having the education of nutrition from plants, specifically, and how to regenerate a new body, healthy, just a lot of preventive maintenance. So last time I made a video, it was over a year ago. Really, it's been 2 years. Has it been 2 years? No, it's been over a year. It hasn't been 2 years, but it's been. I think it's almost been that. Basically, so what I was doing was I was doing a lot of research and doing a lot of self studies. Studying a lot of scientific articles. Along with digging in some books, but mainly just going into the scientific articles, funded by other organizations and governments and all that. And then I use that information to make PowerPoints to break down my blood tests. I haven't gotten a blood test for everything, but, just to start off with the basics, dealing with the liver and the kidney. I had some blood tests that came back in the red, and I would basically study what that means, what it could lead to if it goes untreated, how it became an issue, and learning that would help me learn how to reverse it, and then that would help me learn what plants, what fruits or vegetables, I need to incorporate in order to obtain the right chemicals to cause the reverse action to stop causing a health issue and actually reverse out of the situation. So I believe that once I showed that, and then I did a 30-day experiment with those fruits, those vegetables, those herbs, then I could do a before and after blood test and see if there's any progress, or if it gets worse, I'll make some adjustments. I believe that once I did that, I could use this channel to document my experiments to show that I have some kind of, I wanted to use that to earn me a education to be certified in certain, in the areas that I've done these tests in. And then I found out that's not how that works. And when I found out that's not how it works, that's what told me to go and pay for certification classes where I can at least just get my foot in the door and get hands-on with being a personal trainer, a nutritionist, or whatever the case may be. And then while I'm getting that hands-on experience with those, after I get those certifications, then I can go to school and get my bachelor's in biochemistry and get my master's in herbal medicine. And that still is the goal. So when I came up with that, I no longer had time to do this channel because I needed to focus my energy on getting my classes done. So that was my announcement, that I was going to step away from this channel for a while and get my education because I had already paid for the package. So what's the update from that? Well, the update is I'm still working on that. Which is why I've been low-key running from this channel, because I wanted to come back with some good news. And, you know, my, you know, best man, well, one of my best men in my wedding, I had two of them. One of my best men in my wedding told me that I need to remember what I'm doing this for and remember that I'm just another human being. Ain't nothing special about me. It's okay for me to document my ups and downs. Things didn't really go according to plan. So, because other people out there want to be great and they need to know that they're not alone in this. So, what is the progress report? So, when I paid for the classes, I was working a local trucking. I was working for a local trucking company, and me being home every day, I thought I was going to have a certain schedule set up where I'll be able to knock it out, because there's like the one I'm working on got like 28 chapters, and there's a quiz after each chapter, which doesn't count as any grades at all. You can take the quiz as many times as you like, but after you finish all 28 quizzes, then you take the exam, and that's what matters. So after you finish all the quizzes, it's really smart to take all the quizzes at least 3 times to make sure that you got it down before you take the exam, because when you take the exam, whatever your grade is, that's what it is. And this company uses your grades to spam to other companies that they have contracts with to help you get hired. And depending on your grade, it's really going to determine how valuable you are. So passing is good, but I don't want to just pass with the 80. I want to get 100 or stay in the 90s, because there's other people that's getting these certifications as well. So with the trucking company that I was with the local gig, unfortunately, I was not able to do my schoolwork like I planned. I ended up, the more endorsements that I got to be a higher value to the company, so the company can expand and get other contracts, the more busy I became. And, got my hazmat, I got my tankers. I was working on getting my doubles and triples, get trained on flatbed. I was going to do it all. And I was doing it all for the most part. I was what you call a floater, because I had experience in everything. I'm able to jump around and get any job done. So because of that, I became super reliable, which was good, but it was bad because I didn't have time to do my schoolwork. I find myself driving illegally. I'm probably driving about 15 hours a day average, if I'm doing tankers. Sometimes I drive 21 hours, 19 hours. I think the longest I drove at once was like 25 hours. You know, you know, uh, I was easily just on the shortest run. There's like a 6.5 hour drive there and back. That's 13 hours right there, but it's traffic, so it take longer. So just on the basic route, I'm running 14 hours a day, and complete violations on everything, risking my CDL, but I needed the money. And even in those situations, it took longer than that, especially when it comes to having time to get home, or even whenever I'm done driving, I need the mental energy to focus. And I'm driving 19 hours half the time because I'm going to another state, and I find myself drinking a lot of energy drinks, gained a lot of weight, stressed out. I'm not proud of this, but I had started back smoking tobacco. So stressed out, wasn't able to haven't able. Let me see, wasn't able to work out, wasn't able to do my schoolwork, wasn't able to really get no good sleep. I'm overdosing on these coffees and energy drinks constantly every day. Eating a lot of sweets because I need that sugar rush to keep me up. And that's what got me back smoking, because I knew before I was doing this healing journey, I used to smoke. And any trucker would tell you smoking tobacco keeps you up. So using that as that strategy, plus being stressed out and getting depressed and spiraling down and spending this money and making these monthly payments on school, and I'm not able to do it at all. And a whole year went by, and I haven't been able to really get one certification done. Yeah, it was stressing me out, especially feeling my body getting worse, knowing my health issues. It was just, I'm not making any excuses. I'm just letting you know what was going on with me. Um, I was working so much that I just didn't have time to do my schoolwork, and you know, uh, that's where it was. So now I left that company, and I'm over the road now. So now I'm back over the road, and the company I'm with now, I do have, plenty of time to get one chapter done every day. I got 6 more chapters left on my nutrition certification. Then um, I can do the exam, but I'm going to run through all 28 chapters of the quizzes to make sure I got it down before I finish that. Um, I think I started on the personal trainer certification. I think I was like on chapter 12. So, you know, I was able to get something done, but it's been over a year. I was already supposed to have all 9 certifications done, because my first 5 was going to be the nutrition specialist, the personal trainer, the defibrillator and CPR one, corrective exercise, and performance enhancement. Then after I got those 5, I was going to go back and get me another 4, which was the sports nutrition, so I can deal with athletes, personal trainer for elderly, women, and children. Once I got those 9, then I was going to go and start school and get my bachelor's in biochemistry, and then 2 more years get a master's degree in herbal medicine. So that's still the goal. That's still the goal. It's just, I've gotten older. You know, my wife, time don't stop for nobody. So I'm second guessing my strategies, because I didn't really do things. I didn't think things through, and realizing some of the decisions that I made actually prolonged. And I didn't know what I was doing at that time. At least I thought I knew what I was doing, or I would like to be safe and say I was unaware of what I was getting into. You know, I knew it was a local company. I knew it was a fleet of trucks owned by a person that had his own fleet of trucks, so it wasn't like a big company. It was a guy that just owned his own fleet of trucks. So he called the shots. We listened to him. He drove and worked with us, so we could pretty much do whatever we wanted to do. So I didn't be my first time being in that situation. I didn't realize that a lot of my hours were edited, and I didn't complain about it. I took advantage of it. It's just doing that, I didn't realize how much I was sacrificing on not getting my schoolwork done. So now it's been like a year and a half, and I'm still in the same spot. Um, I've lost a lot of weight. I was like, I think when I started this channel, I was like 190. When I left that job because of all the weight that I gained, and it was so stressed out, and then I was based on us trying to move and what I needed to get done in order for me to cross over careers and then pay months of bills ahead of time so I can have time to cross over. I was going to be there for another 6, 7 months. Knowing how my body felt, by the time I just said I need to leave, I was I was 252. I was 252. No, 242. It was somewhere up there. I was up there. I was up there. I'm not up there no more. I'm not back to 190. I'm like 230, 235. You know, so I'm gonna drop it. I'm dropping it. Um, Me being over the road, having schoolwork. This is my first time dealing with this. I was risking it when I was doing my YouTube channel when I was over the road the first time because I was studying while I was driving and I wasn't supposed to do that. I got the YouTube on my phone, Bluetooth to the truck radio, so I'm on YouTube listening to scientists. I'm getting articles and I'm zooming in on the words so I can read it while I'm on the highway and open traffic, multitasking, doing that. I wasn't supposed to do any of that. That could cause a serious accident. So now that I've gotten everything on my laptop, I can't work on that when I'm driving, so I have to be done driving in order for me to attend my schoolwork. And some days I'm able to attend, some days I'm not. You know, uh, I've made other types of adjustments since then. I'm just trying to be as open as I can because I'm not proud of the progress that I've accomplished so far because I could have, as far as I've gone, I could have done all this in a month, 2 months tops, and it's been over a year. My weight going up and down, well, going up for the most part, but now it's coming down. Um, I'm working on balancing this while I'm over the road. I got my wife with me, I got my dog with me, obviously. Um, I'm working on it, and my wife, she's being very supportive. She knows I'm hard on myself, so whenever I get really upset or depressed because things aren't going the way that I mapped it out, because I'm always organizing and writing things out and planning how I'm going to do things, what I'm going to do when I wake up, then what I'm going to do while I'm driving, then what I'm going to do after I'm driving, and try to keep that routine. If I'm not able to do that routine, then I feel like everything's falling apart. She know how dramatic I can be, and it's because I'm in fight or flight. That's just the truth, you know. And that may explain why I'm in the same spot because I'm pretty sure. Cause I told myself this like 2 days ago. All the times that I tried to go 180, that I tried to pull a 180 just do a cold switch like that, it fell apart. And then I get mad and I do it again and I do it again and I do it again. If I just take gradual steps and take my time, you know, that's a lot better. It's just, it's different for me because I know what to do. I know what I need to do specifically. I know how I need to do it. I've done the research. So it's like for me it's like I know what to do, in order to fix my situation, and I'm not able to do that. And that's what's bothering me because it's like I know what to do. So it's like that's why I'm always trying to jump in there. But, you know, um, I did an experiment and I took things one at a time. And I didn't like it because it took like 4 weeks in order for me to like do something different every week, like cutting something off, but that was still easier to do, so that's what I'm gonna have to do, you know. So now, what am I gonna do as far as my exercising, because of my x-rays? Um, I don't have my weights with me. I don't have a bunch of weights with me in the truck. So I just been doing burpee exercises, just different variations of burpee exercises. Um, there's a foldable, like a pull up and dip kit, a little bar, you know, uh, when you do that at, but there's the one where it folds up and you can take it with you. That's like 170 some dollars on Amazon. I want to get that because I still need to do a lot of pulling exercises because of me sitting down, hunched over. I'm always having an overstretched back and a tight front, so my back muscles is weak. So I need to do pulling exercises to strengthen my back, to stop having all this back and neck pain, and also to strengthen those muscles to help get my spine back, you know, corrected. Um, and my hip realignments too. I don't have a yoga mat. I gotta get me another one. Um, I tore the other one up, so I'm pretty much starting over. Basically, you know, I could have said all this in like 3 minutes of the video, but I just wanted. It's my first time back, so of course I got a lot to say. I'm not happy about it, but I need to show y'all that I'm not happy about it because this is life. There's somebody else out there that may be doing the best that they can, and they just in a bad situation where they're not able to, and they need that extra support of understanding. I'm here to let you know I understand. Um, it does remind me of some things that I forgot about. I forgot about breathing exercises, certain breathing techniques to use whenever you're tired, because being over the road, the major drawback in doing this over the road is there's no set schedule. There's no work and sleep schedule when you're over the road. It's you just gotta sleep when it's time to sleep and work when it's time to work. And that varies, right? So having 70 hours to drive, having 70 hours of on duty time that I can use within um, the week, 11 hours a day of driving, that's only going to last 6 days if I was to do all 11, but that's not smart because then you're going to be shut down for like a day and a half every week. So to keep the money going, you got to pace yourself, which I've calculated about 8 hours and 45 minutes per day, and I'll be able to keep driving every day. So if I'm using 8 hours and 45 minutes of being at work, doing my pre-trip and driving and all that, then after that it's a 10-hour reset. So I gotta get some sleep within the 10 hours. Well, that's technically 18 hours and 45 minutes. Then I gotta get up and do it again. I'm not able to get a full night's rest, work for 8 hours 45 minutes, and then go back to sleep. So I'll be up, and I don't get sleep until like the last 4 hours, 5 hours sometimes before it's time for me to go to bed. And then by that time I don't get enough sleep, so I'm up again. Then I gotta drink coffee, which drinking black coffee is fine, but sometimes that doesn't work. So I gotta get an energy drink and drink coffee with sugar in it, or try to get me something. So it's like I kind of find myself back in the same situation. Some days, not all days, but some days it be like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like today I'm running on rollover hours. So after 8 hours, whatever I did on day one will roll over, and that's how much time I have for that ninth and 10th. Like it'll roll over. Everything you did the last 8 days, it roll over and it repeats. After midnight. After midnight, you get that time back. So if I drove 10 hours on Monday, on day one, 8 hours, 8 days later, when midnight hit, I get that same time that I did on day one, and then day two, day three, it roll over like that. So when that happens, like right now, you gotta wait till midnight to get your time back to start working. So I'm waited till midnight to get about 9.5 hours back, which means I'm gonna be done driving like around 10 something in the morning after I do like a 30-minute break and pre-trip, post-trip, and all that. So after I'm done driving like around 10 in the morning, I'm I'm off all the way till midnight again. So that's like 14 hours, which I can take advantage of. That's when I can take advantage of do my schoolwork. That's when I can really take some other time and read and study and go out. Like I can make it work. But the drawback is, you know, if if I'm trying to catch up on my sleep, it can throw me off. Because now if I'm tired, I gotta stay up until it's time to go to sleep. So when I wake up, I'm fresh and it's time for me to work. So it's a little different when you're over the road. I'm just trying to make that work, and it is very, very difficult. Um, but I find myself in these situations. My wife, she's in the truck stop. She's taking a shower right now, so that's why I'm doing this video. Um, I've been trying to figure out what I can do daily as far as content. Because I wake up, I prep my teas, I got my tea bag, I got my tea bags, I got my kettle, I got my water. So, but, I don't want to turn on the lights to record myself making my teas and prepping my water, and my wife is laying down asleep. All that light, waking up an hour before it's time to get, ready to hit the road. Because when I prep my teas, I go outside and I do my burpee exercises. Just get myself ready, take the dog out, help myself wake up before I hit the road. I'm still struggling. Things aren't going the way that I planned it. I keep telling myself I think I'm gonna just stay over the road until I finish my certifications, because in order for me to leave this trucking company, I need to change careers, and I don't want to change. I don't want to. It would be, I would rather get these 5 certifications out the way and have high value jobs, well, at least from a starting point, waiting on me. So whenever I come home off the road, I got money to pay for the next 3 months of bills, so that way I can use that gap to, interviews and make sure that I get the right job. And then I got like a week or 2 in the system to get the money flowing properly. So that way I ain't gonna worry about the bills because it's already paid. So I have a nice transition. You know what I'm saying? So, so I'm gonna be truck driving basically until I cross over careers. And that's why I started back doing music, because I'm really good at that. And I just want to open up every avenue that I can think of to help me get the money fast, because this did not go according to plan. It's been like, I want to say it's been almost 2 years since I bought that. Since I bought that package, it's been over a year for sure. It's been over a year, and it's like I haven't made any progress. So I'm not really happy about it, but it is what it is. I just don't know what I'm gonna do as far as content. I don't want to turn on the lights and record myself when my wife's trying to get some sleep. I could take my phone out and record me doing my exercises every day, or 5 days a week. I could do that. But then after that, then what? Recording myself drinking my teas after my alarm go off. I don't know. I'm just I want to be back on this channel, but I'm not able to do my YouTube channel. I'm not able to do the independent research like I used to. I got to get the schoolwork done. I'll figure it out though. I'm glad I'm doing this video though, because doing this actually helps me. This is like therapy also. I'm low-key talking to myself. That's why it's been like 30 minutes right now. But I don't know. If there's any other people out there that is going down this health journey and they want other people to talk to, I'm looking for people to talk to as well. I don't really have anybody that I talk to about this except for my best man. He just got into it. He's a natural. He that's another conversation. He be inspiring me. I don't know how he do it. It's a man. I'm gonna tell you this. This guy works. Well, he was working at a restaurant, being a server, right? So he's serving food. So he's always in the kitchen smelling all this food. So he's serving in the restaurant. Then he smokes, and then he still hit the gym, and he fasts 6 days a week. So I can't imagine this dude not eating, smoking, knowing it's going to give you the munchies, and then go to work around food all day serving, and then get off of work and then go to the gym. Like, hey, look, salute to him, man. I told him that's not normal. You know what I'm saying? I be fasting, but it's like, it's dangerous for me because when I'm like not eating and all that, you go through a phase where it's like your body gets weak. That's not safe for me to be like that behind the wheel. There's been days where I've been behind the wheel and I be feeling sluggish. I be feeling weak, and my mental focus is off, so my reflexes are slow. That's very dangerous. I'm driving an 18-wheeler. Like, at one point in time, I was like, man, I told my wife, like, man, look, if I don't make it, I don't make it. Like, I gotta be willing to die for this. And then she was like, yeah, but what if you survive and you kill a family? That's prison time. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's one person. So I'm like, yeah. So that's why I get mad when I wake up and then I'm dozing off behind the wheel. I get mad. I may curse because I know what that means. I know I gotta go pull over, get me a coffee. Most likely that ain't finna work half the time. It's gonna make me sleepy. And then I gotta pull over again and get an energy drink and then get me like some sweets or something. I don't like, cause every time I do that, I feel like I'm starting over. The 2-3 days I did good, down the drain, because my sleep schedule was off it's no set, it's random, so today I thought about my breathing techniques because I know different breathing techniques to help you rest and help you wake up. I used to experiment different breathing techniques. I know pushing all the air out of your lungs and then holding your breath, you slow down your heart rate and you calm the nervous system. I know inhaling as much oxygen and then holding your breath, your heart rate picks up. So it actually, stimulates the nervous system. So sometimes I used to do the breathing techniques to try to make me go to sleep, and I get so caught up in counting to make sure I'm doing it correctly, it don't work. I end up being up. Like, I can't sleep. Like, you'll be tired, but you're not sleepy. I've had that plenty of times. My body be tired. I just want to lay down, but it's like my brain is moving. It's like I'm not. So I got to get back used to that. It's not going to happen overnight. I just got to keep doing it. And I just don't like, fasting and sticking to my routine, and then I end up feeling weak behind the wheel. And that's not a good thing. I can't tell you how many times I done dozed off behind that wheel. That's a scary thing. I gotta figure something out. I'm 37 now. My wife's 35. We're getting older. You know, I gotta figure something out. You know, because I don't want us to start a family in the truck. She's surrounded by diesel fuels. That's not smart. So I'm putting myself in a position where it's like I want to get us set up to when we do leave the truck, we got a crib. I changed careers. The trucking thing is gone. Now I'm able to get into the gym, being a personal trainer with somebody, or working at a hospital or a clinic or a rehab center, whatever the case may be, because I got the certifications done. You know, that's what I'm aiming for. You know, and for this to be about a year and a half, and I'm still in the same spot because of my sleeping schedules. You know, it's, you know, it can get depressing. It can get stressful. I do have my moments where I feel like I'm not going anywhere. You know, but being a personal trainer is, what comes with that is dealing with people and helping them make the best out of their work schedule. You know, so I am my first client, so I got to figure out how to make this work. You know, because of what I'm doing with my job, and I wonder if you can even mix the two. You know, don't get it twisted. I can work out outside the gym. I've seen plenty of people that work out outside of the truck. I can do that too. But, you know, they're not, you know, well, I don't know what they're not doing. You know, maybe over the road, or certain companies over the road, depending on how they work it. I don't know. But I'm going to go crazy trying to figure out what it is. But I'm going to keep experimenting. I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to give up. I may get depressed. I may get frustrated. But I need to go through that motion. I need to get that expression. Once I get out of my system, I'll come back to my senses. But I need to get that out of me. You know, so I don't mind going through the motion. I don't mind feeling like that, because I know I'm not going to stay like that. But yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm gonna work on uploading more videos. Let me get off here before my wife calls me, so we can switch. She's gonna call me when she's ready. I wanted to do this, so I do have more videos to upload though. I do have things that I want to let y'all know that I've been doing, that I've been adding on. But I'm gonna save that for another video. So if you want to stay in tune, subscribe, hit the all notification bell. If you like this video, like it. Don't like it because you support me. I actually want feedback. I actually want to know what you guys think about what I'm doing. And we'll get there.